Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. Today we are going to discuss competitive and allosteric inhibition. First of all, what's the enzyme inhibition? Enzyme inhibitor is defined as the substance which binds with the enzyme and brings about a decrease in catalytic activity of the enzyme. It means that these type of substances must be unwanted and they bind with the enzyme in such a way that instead of increasing the catalytic activity, they are responsible for the decrease in catalytic activity of the enzyme. It means that, for example, if some enzyme was responsible for catalyzing the oxidation reduction reaction as the oxidoreductase, then after the combining or the binding of the inhibitor to the enzyme side, there is a decrease in the catalytic activity of the enzyme, and therefore such a substance which is responsible for the decrease in the catalytic activity of that enzyme, such substance or the chemical compound will be regarded as the inhibitor. And this inhibitor, which is responsible for the decrease in catalytic activity of the enzyme, it may be of organic or inorganic in nature. It means that it may be certain small molecule or organic molecule, or it may be certain inorganic molecule which is not under the category of the carbon hydrogen linkages, or overall not having the organic chemistry in it. And therefore, there are three broad categories of the enzyme inhibition, depending on the type of substance or the inhibitor, which is going to bind with the enzyme and responsible for the decrease in catalytic activity of the enzyme. And the site at which the substance or the inhibitor will be bind, this will categorize the enzyme inhibition process into three types. First is the reversible. It means that yes, this inhibition can be reversed. It means that original state can be obtained. And second one is the irreversible. It means that like some type of the chemical reaction which are irreversible, it means that if they are happened, they can't be reversed. And the third type is the allosteric inhibition. Today we will discuss first one, which is the reversible inhibition. And the inhibitor binds non-covalently with the enzyme, and the enzyme inhibition can be reversed if the inhibitor is removed. It means that the inhibitor which is going to bind with the enzyme, it will bind with non-covalent interaction. It means that it will not bind with the enzyme tightly. It will be of these type of the bindings will be loose. And the enzyme inhibition, such type of enzyme inhibition can be reversed. It means that the original state of enzyme can be obtained. And this original state or the free enzyme will be obtained only if the inhibitor is going to be removed in after certain carrying out certain mechanism or the procedure. And the reversible inhibition is further subdivided into two types. Number first is competitive, and number second is non-competitive inhibition. This word is competitive. Don't pronounce it as competitive. It's the competitive. It's derived from the word like competition. And competition means yes, there is between there is you can say competition between two types of the substances. One wants to bind with the enzyme, second one also have a wish to bind with the enzyme. And in this competition one will definitely precede or win or take the victory or get victory over the other one. And therefore first is the competitive inhibition. And competitive inhibition means the inhibitor which is regarded as I, which closely resemble the real substrate, and therefore it is regarded as or known as the substrate analog. Analog mean like substrate. It means that such type of inhibitor which causes the competitive inhibition, it has the structure similarities like the substrate. Therefore, it will recognize the enzyme active site, and therefore it will get you can say it will win or get victory to bind with the active site of enzyme. Therefore, the first condition is that the inhibitor is like the substrate, or it's we can say it's the substrate analog. The inhibitor competes with the substrate and binds at the active site of the enzyme, but it doesn't undergo any catalysis. It means that when inhibitor binds with the enzyme, and it takes or take its role as or take part in the competition, that it proceed or the wins uh, for the enzyme active site. Therefore, after when the after binding of the inhibitor with the active site, this process of catalysis will not take place, because the enzyme was responsible for the catalyzing the you can say the conversion of the substrate into certain product. And when there is binding of the inhibitor instead of the active site, therefore instead of you can say catalyzing or which was the inherent ability of the enzyme to catalyze certain reaction, then that process or the catalytic activity will definitely stop. And as long as the competitive inhibitor holds the active site, the enzyme is not available for the substrate to bind. It means that enzyme is the big like a big house, and the active site is like room. And when the room is occupied by the inhibitor, then unless or until this inhibitor is removed, the that room or that space you can say the cavity will not be available for the substrate, and therefore substrate will definitely uh, will be in the waiting list, or it will in the wait you can say mechanism. It will wait for the release of the inhibitor from the active site. And uh, uh, the substrate will only binds with the enzyme active site only if there is removal of inhibitor from that you can say space or the cavity. And during this reaction, ES complex is formed, and similarly, there is also probability of you can say uh, making or the production of the EI complexes. And therefore, overall process is shown that many enzyme molecules are available to some of enzyme molecule inhibitor will bind, and therefore EI complex will form. When EI complex will form, it will not proceed for the catalysis. Therefore, this reaction will stop at the um, formation of the EI stage. But when the ES is formed, enzyme will show its catalytic activity, and therefore this substrate will be converted into product, and free enzyme will be released. And here is the diagrammatic uh, difference between the competitive and the non-competitive inhibition. First one is for the competitive inhibition. Uh, there is big structure of enzyme and small side is the active one. And at the active side, you can see in the first form, there is binding of the competitive inhibitor, which is shown as the purplish color. Whereas the you can also see from here that the substrate and competitive inhibitor have the same or the similar, you can say not the same but the similar. Similar means somewhat different and somewhat um, same. It means that it has some structural properties just like the substrate but have many differences from it. Therefore, overall, it's shaped like the substrate or it's the substrate analog. Therefore, it will bind with the active site of enzyme. Therefore, enzyme inhibitor complex is formed. Whereas in the second or the B stage, which is the non-competitive inhibition, here there is some other site instead of active site. Therefore, you can see from here that non-competitive inhibitor uh, doesn't have the structure similarity with that of substrate, like it's shown over here as the triangle, whereas the substrate is shown as the oval shape. And therefore, the non-competitive inhibitor bind at the back or the other side of the enzyme, and therefore when it will bind at the back or the other side of the enzyme, it will overall change the geometry or the conformation or the 3D orientation of the active site. Therefore, you can see that active site is deformed, and therefore substrate will not attach to the active site. It means that in both the cases, the inhibitor compete for the active site, and also in the second stage, like the non-competitive inhibition, the inhibitor will overall change the geometry or the conformation of enzyme in such a way that active site is no longer available for the substrate binding. And the relative concentration of the substrate and the inhibitor and their respective affinity with the enzyme determine the degree of the competitive inhibition. It means that how much this competitive inhibition is successful. And relative concentration mean if the substrate molecules are 101 and inhibitor have like 10 molecules, and therefore if the affinity of the substrate is like yeah, I will if give the number for the substrate affinity like 50, and for the inhibitor it's the 20. It means that if there is difference, large difference between the substrate and inhibitor affinity for the active site, and if the relative concentration of the substrate and inhibitor have big differences, it means that if the substrate is present the higher concentration and inhibitor in the low, then there must be the stage that yes, the substrate will compete, and substrate may you can say the leave the inhibitor at the last steps, or you can say it will definitely compete with the inhibitor, and it will succeed. And therefore these factors overall determine the degree of the competitive inhibition. To such if the competitive inhibition is very stronger one, it means that this definitely inhibitor will occupy the enzyme active site, and substrate will not get converted into product. And the inhibition could be overcome by the high substrate. concentration. It means that if we want that this inhibition can be reversed or this inhibition can be stopped, then we must have to reach a level that substrate must have a high concentration in that medium. And in competitive inhibition, no doubt there are two parameters, which is the Km and Vmax. It means that Michaelis-Menten constant, which is related to substrate concentration, and Vmax, which is the maximum velocity for a certain enzymatic catalyzed reaction. And therefore, in competitive inhibition, the value of Km will increase, whereas the Vmax remains unchanged. It means that maximum velocity which enzyme can attain, it will remain unchanged. Here is the graphical representation. Two figures are shown over here. First one is A is when velocity is plotted against the substrate, and B is the graphical representation when reciprocal plot is there and the Lineweaver double reciprocal plot is shown, and red or the purplish line is shown for the inhibitor. It means that when there is no inhibitor, like the blue line, blue trend, no inhibitor is present in the medium or in the reaction where is enzyme and the substrate. But the purplish or the reddish color represent that yes, there is presence of inhibitor in overall medium where enzyme is going to catalyze the reaction. And in the diagram or the graphical representation A, you can see that Vmax value, maximum velocity, like this one, is same for both if the only substrate is present, and in the second case when inhibitor is also present. Therefore, this curve is somehow you can see from here, it's the in the linear fashion instead, like the sigmoidal in the sigma shape, uh, curve from the sigma shape. Therefore, when this line is obtained, and when you will take the half of Vmax, like it's the 1 by 2 Vmax, and it is related to the Km value, which is the substrate concentration at which half of the maximum velocity is obtained or has been reached. And therefore, it's the Km value when the substrate, only substrate is present in the medium. But in this case, there is presence of inhibitor, and Km prime or the dash value represent that the Km value will be rises, will increased. But in both cases, this is the Vmax point. Therefore, Vmax will remain unchanged. But in the second case, here is the example for the competitive inhibition. Enzyme succinate dehydrogenase SDH is the classical example of the competitive inhibition. And this enzyme succinate dehydrogenase acts on the substrate, which is succinic acid. The compound like malonic acid, glutaric acid, oxalic acid, which have the structure similarity with the succinic acid, which is the dicarboxylic acid, and therefore if in the medium along with the succinic acid. If malonic acid, glutaric acid, or the oxalic acid are present, then therefore they will act as the competitive inhibitor, and therefore they bind with the substrate active site, and therefore they will compete for the substrate, which is succinic acid. And therefore at the active site of STH with succinate dehydrogenase, there is binding of the like oxalic or the malonic acid and so on. Therefore, here is given the structure formula of the succinic acid, which is dicarboxylic acid, and also malonic acid is dicarboxylic acid, but it has the intervening methylene 1CH2, but succinic acid has 2 CH2s, but these two are the like structure analogs. Number next is methanol is toxic to the body when it is converted to formaldehyde by the enzyme alcohol dehydrogenase. It means that methanol overall is when it's get into the body, and when it is converted to formaldehyde by the action of enzyme alcohol dehydrogenase, and therefore ethanol can compete with the methanol for ADH. Therefore, with the ADH or alcohol dehydrogenase, methanol will not attach, and therefore ethanol can be used in the treatment of methanol poisoning if methanol is get into body mistakenly. And some more example of enzymes with substrate and competitive inhibitors for the clinical and pharmacological significance are given here in the tabulation form. Like first column represents the enzyme like xanthine oxidase, acetyl choline esterase, vitamin K epoxide, AHMG-CoA reductase, and so on. List of enzyme is given, and for each enzyme substrate is given, like xanthine for xanthine oxidase, hypoxanthine is present, and if inhibitor like the allopurinol, it will compete for the hypoxanthine. Therefore, what's the significance of this inhibitor? It's used in the control of GOT to reduce excess production of uric acid from the hypoxanthine. It means that for the control of the GOT, or the you can say the uric acid, when uric acid crystals got accumulated in between the joints, and therefore causes pain. And another enzyme like the acetylcholine esterase, what's its significance? It's used in the surgery for the muscle relaxation, which inhibitor succinylcholine in the anesthesia inducted or the administrated patients. It means that there is significance for each of the inhibitor. And next are the anti-metabolites. It's also pronounced as the anti-metabolites. It means that substances or the chemical compounds which are against or the opposite to the metabolites. And therefore, these are the chemical compounds that block the metabolic reaction by their inhibitory action on the enzyme. It means that certain metabolic reactions, they will be stopped due to the presence of some chemical compounds, and their inhibitory action must be on the enzymes. Like the antimetabolites, usually they are the structure analog of the substrate, and thus are these antimetabolite, new terminology is given. They are also competitive inhibitors, and their usage is mainly in the cancer therapy and in the GOT condition, in which uric acid crystals got accumulated in the joints and causes lot of pain. And the term antivitamin is used for the antimetabolites, which block the biochemical functioning or the action of the vitamins, and causing deficiencies like sulfonylamide and the dicumarol. They act as the antivitamins, and because they are the antimetabolites, and they block or stop the biochemical action of some vitamins. Number next is allosteric inhibition. And allosteric inhibitors, uh, they bind to the allosteric site instead of active site, and therefore they alter the overall protein conformation or structure of the enzyme in a such a way that the active site conformation, or the 3-day you can say appearance, is changed, and therefore consequently it causes change in the shape of active site, and active site shape will not be complement with that of the substrate shape. Therefore substrate will not attach to the active site of enzyme. Enzyme no longer remain able to bind its specific like substrate on which it has to act and to convert into certain product. Hand enzyme is unable to perform its catalytic activity, and in this allosteric inhibition, enzyme is said to be in the inactive form. It means that at the active site is free, none of the substrate or inhibitor will bind, but inhibitor is attaches itself to some one other site which is termed as the allosteric site, and therefore the conformation of active site got changed. Here is the overall representation, like allosteric, this type of like binding, it may be in result in the inhibition or the activation, but we are going to study the inhibition, although activation can also occurs, like in the allosteric inhibition. This is the allosteric site. This inhibitor binds the allosteric site, but active site is also free, but it is distorted active site. Therefore, substrate doesn't complete or the complement the active site, and therefore it will not bind to the active site. But in case of allosteric activation, when activator will bind, then overall first conformation is like it's the distorted one plane, but after its attachment it will change into some 3D formulation. Therefore substrate will attaches, and therefore catalytic activity will continue, but our main emphasis is over here in at the allosteric inhibition. And next is the enzyme inhibition by certain drugs. It means that there are certain drugs which inhibit the enzymatic activity, and enzymes are the natural targets for the development of the pharmacological agents, like in drug chemistry, or for the pharmaceutical point of view, for the drug discovery, for you can say for the cureness of certain ailments. And many of the drugs which are used in the treatment of diseases, they act on as the enzyme inhibitor. For example, cholesterol lowering statin drugs, which is the lovastatin, and they inhibit the enzyme HMG, which I have told in very elaborated form when we have go through the cholesterol metabolism. Therefore, it inhibits the enzyme HMG-CoA reductase, and therefore this enzyme will not show its activity, and cholesterol level will definitely be lowered in the body. And the drugs like the tenofovir and triptabin, they employ to block the HIV replication and thus inhibit the enzyme viral reversed. transcriptase, which is responsible uh, for the viral like infection, and after the viral infection it will be boost up, and therefore these drugs will be employed to block the HIV replication, or the you can say division. And hypertension means high blood pressure, which is often treated by the drugs like the captopril and the enalapril, and which inhibit the angiotensin which are produced, and thus converting the enzyme. It means that such type of the drugs like 3 4 drugs which we have go through, lovastatin and the tenofovir, and like the captopril, these drugs definitely inhibit the enzyme, and therefore enzyme will not catalyze the reaction which it was catalyzing before the administration of the drugs, and therefore that catalytic reaction will be stopped, and therefore the diseases will not be preceded. Here is the overall complete description for the retrovirus. And retrovirus is the type of the RNA virus, and that inserts a copy of its genome into the DNA of the host cell. It means that on the DNA of the host cell, it will take its own ruling. It will monitor, or it will control the overall DNA of the host cell. Therefore, it will invade there, occupy there, and therefore it's changing the genomes of that cell. And when it's inside the host cell or the cytoplasm, the virus uses its own reverse transcriptase enzyme, and this transcriptase enzyme is responsible to produce DNA from its RNA genome. It means that now virus will, you can say, take the ruling, and it will produce its own DNA, and therefore in this way there is more production of the virus in the human cytoplasm, and therefore the reverse of the usual pattern, and therefore overall this process due to the reversal, it's called the retro or the backward, like the retrosenses. Retrosenses mean backward, since we will going towards to find out the you can say the prime reactant or the original components which were going to produce the product, and therefore it's the retrovirus. It means that the backward patterns, and the new DNA is then incorporated into the host cell genome by an integrase enzyme, and it at which point the retroviral DNA is referred to as the provirus. And in this way, the host cell then treats the viral DNA as the part of its own genome. It means that virus will make fool the human cell, and therefore instead of human DNA there are more viral DNAs, and thus transcribing and translating the viral genes along with the cell's own gene, and thus producing the proteins which are required to assemble new copies of virus. It means that new virus new copies of virus mean new viruses are going to multiply and produce after the you can say retrovirus section, retrovirus mechanism, and therefore there is production of the DNA which have the similarities or which have the origin from the you can say virus, and therefore in the human cytoplasm there is more copies of the viral DNA. It was all about today's lecture, and for assignment, please explain what's the competitive and the allostatic inhibitions differences. You can find the differences, similarities, example, what are the you can say the differences between the substrate, what are the differences between the inhibitors, which type of inhibitor will choose the allosteric, you can say enzyme, the allosteric positions or the sites, or which type of the you can say substances or inhibitor will compete with the substrate the for causing the competitive inhibition. Therefore you have to explain the competitive versus allosteric inhibition and quote some examples. Best wishes and Allah Hafiz.